Hey all, Heretic here. Patch 27.0 just announced, drops tomorrow, July 25th, and I'm excited to go into all the neat, fun details coming out. Let's go dive into all things Battlegrounds and see what we can find. And I'm really excited about it. We're gonna start right off the bat with the new quests coming out. Now I know you're like, wait, Heretic, there's a lot of quests. Do we really need more quests? And you might be right. Right now, while I look at it, I feel like these are cool. Maybe a week from now, I'm gonna be like, really, just more quests? But let's look at these rewards, because some of them are kind of neat, I feel. There's a definite theme with them. First up is Turbulent Tombs. Add a specified death rattle minion to your hand. Your death rattles trigger an extra time. So think about some death rattle minions you'd like to get early. Say a Nubarak, Dancing Barnstormer, maybe a Gas Coiler. These things getting in your hand early, and then all of your death rattles trigger an extra time, can be exciting. Yes, there's going to be an issue with space with some of these, but get a Scour Fin or say a Tunnel Blaster. I mean, it's not going to be as big as an issue because you're not trying to fill up your board with minions. But also some of these death rattles are kind of subpar. Tunnel Blast is cool, but very situational. And if you're getting it when you're, say, already tier 4, that doesn't really feel like a reward, right? It's cool if you're on tier 4 and you get a tier 6. Not if you're on tier 4 and you get a tier 3. So it's going to depend on what you're getting. But them always triggering an extra time, couple that with like a Titus, and ooh, I'm really happy right now that leapfroggers are gone. Because if leapfrogs were still in the game and this was a thing, wow. Talk about, everyone would just go leapfrog. Why not? It's tier 2 minion. Build around it, go nuts, win. You know, hey, definitely going to be a fun and interesting quest. In the same vein as the last one, we have the Gilnean Warhorn. Add a specified battle cry minion to your hand. Your battle cries trigger an extra time. Well, there's a lot of good battle cries. It's going to be fun. I don't know how much I like getting a battle cry as opposed to a death rattle and other things like that, but you'll get the one good use out of it. But let's say you pick this early and it's like you get a Primal Fin and your battle cries go twice. It's very possible you already find yourself in a tribe that, I don't know, just undead. You've already got a Nubarak, you picked up a couple things, you complete it, and it's like, here's your Primal Fin, and you're like, yay. So while I really like these, I definitely don't know how excited I am about these. I mean, you don't have to have a brand on your board for the extra value now. So there's definitely some incentive there, but it's gonna have to be one of those where I play it out to see it. Obviously, if you get a Menagerie board going and you got a bunch of battle cries or your Murloc board, you're gonna go nuts with this because you don't need to have Bran on the board to get that value. But at the same time, I want to play it before I get too excited. It's not quite as excited. It has masks to me that gives you the extra triggers for end of turn effects or the death rattles that are going to give you. It gives you a card that's going to stay on your board and continuously give you value because the battle cry reward inherently is going to be played and then gone. So we'll see how it all plays out in the end. But I'm excited to see how this goes. This could be a lot of fun and could definitely enable some more broken gameplay. Yes, we need more broken gameplay. What it really is going to boil down to, if these are good, is what is these specified cards that are going to be in the pool. Some of them could be really cool and others would feel really lackluster. So it depends what those are. Next up, we have some quest reward changes. So the difficulty to complete some of the changes has been made easier. Some have been made harder. We have the following quests are now more difficult to earn. Endless Blood Moon, Sturdy Shard, Volatile Venom, Doppelganger's Locket, Hidden Treasure Vault. So I have some issues with some of these. First of all, Sturdy Shard I feel like needs to be kind of completed semi-early to be good. So making it harder makes this already, I mean, to me, I like Taunt, and I still feel like this is not the greatest quest reward, depending, because you're choosing it way before you decide to put out a bunch of taunts. And if you get in a tribe that doesn't really use many taunts, it certainly doesn't feel great. I love Volatile Venom, but I've already seen quests where it's 100 gold on heroes that have 10, 12 armor. So what is it gonna be? What if I get an 8, 5 armor hero and it's harder? Is it gonna be 120 gold? Who's playing this? When? Never. Doppelganger's Locket, I'm fine with. This is too easy to complete. This makes sense. Hidden Treasure Vault is only good if you can complete this relatively early. If you're finishing this on turn 8 and 9, you're not winning. You're getting your trash kicked. There's nothing you can do about it. To get the value out of this, you kind of got to pick it up by turn 6 to 8, the latest. I've seen it done in one turn. Now that's way too fast. Realistically, turn 7, I feel like is kind of the sweet spot they want it, but We'll see how it actually is. Maybe it won't be as bad. When they say make it harder, it just might be a slight nudge and not so much an apocalyptic move to some insane number. On the flip side, a lot of quests are easier to complete. And that, of course, is more fun because now you get to actually use your quest as opposed to dying maybe the turn you complete it, which we've all done many, many, many times. So Boom Squad, which yes, does exist. I've actually seen it a couple times now. It is ultra rare, is only in beast and or undead lobbies, so not super common, and it seems to be too rare. Maybe they'll adjust that. Map of the Unknown, Icicle, Blood-Soaked Tomb, which easier to complete. I mean, this one is a hard to complete one, but if you could complete this earlier, I feel like this is going to be one of those quests to watch that could be broken. Once again, depends how far they're moving the needle on these things. Snicker Snacks, Scepter of Guidance, which I don't mind that one being moved. Scepter of Guidance is the one that's just going to put cards in the shop. You still have to buy them. It's not like Friend of a Friend, I think that's it, that gives you 2 cards a turn. So I feel like this one's okay, making this a little easier to complete. Timeline Acceleration, Ritual Dagger, Anima Bribe, and Mirror Shield, which I never like taking Mirror Shield. These are all fine with being easier to complete, but once again, this doesn't tell us anything. These are not hard numbers. We don't know if they mean they're making the 1% easier or they're making 70% easier. It really depends where they are in the metrics. I assume it's going to be more slight nudges than, dramatic shifts, but who knows? We'll see. I usually don't jump in too hard on the armor ones, but there's only a couple. First of all, our heroes with less armor, Carriel Rome down to 6. Chenvala now has 15 at higher ratings and 12 at lower. I mean, Rome is fun to play, but hard with, I think 8 to 9 armor I see regularly now, down to 6. Once again, that puts it in that Millhouse, that Gallywix level where it's like, if I lose 2 fights, I could literally be dead. Does not feel fun to me. Yeah, you can high roll with these heroes, and that's why they're nerfing their armor, but it still doesn't feel fun. The following heroes now have more armor. Trade Prince Gallywix now has 8 at higher and 10 at lower. And then Queen Wagtoggle, who I never play, has 13 armor at higher and 7 at lower rankings. Basically, this means I'm always wanting to play Gallywix, but afraid to. Now I'm going to be about the same place with it because it's 8. It's still not much. In Rome, now I'm less likely to want to play because they're down to 6. Chenvala doesn't really change, and Wagtoggle I hate playing just because the play style of Wagtoggle just seems very blah to me, so not touching those either way. Not bad changes, just changes. In a not surprising change, Bristleback Knight has been changed, but changed for the better, because Bristleback had something that nobody else in Battleground had anymore, and that was Frenzy. Frenzy was a mechanic they put in, I think, like a year and a half ago, and then has left. This is the last card that had Frenzy. So the old wording was Wind Fury, Divine Shield, Frenzy, gain Divine Shield. Now it's Wind Fury, Divine Shield. The first time this survives damage, gain Divine Shield. More words to mean the same thing, but since nothing else has the mechanic, that makes sense. This is a good change. It's just for clarity purposes, and I'm okay with this change. It definitely helps when someone who's never seen this before, or maybe only a couple times runs into it. Now they understand what it means. Otherwise, they look at Frenzy and go, what was that? I've never seen that before. And also some wording updates. Why? Why not? They make the life a little easier, I feel. In a card game where you need to be able to understand something quickly, I feel like these are good changes. And its text-only updates have been made in several instances across Battlegrounds for consistency and better templating. Tavern tier has been shortened to Tier. Bob's Tavern has been changed to The Tavern. Add to your hand has been shortened to Get. And minion type have been shortened to Type, when minions are already previously mentioned in the text. None of these changes are gameplay impacting changes at all. They're just hopefully going to clear up some, brief confusion people can get by simplifying some things. For someone who, played Magic the Gathering for many, many years, decades now, word changing can make the game much simpler when they just simplify the text using it and kind of make it blanket across the board. These are good changes. It's a digital asset, so this is easy to do. I'm happy with these. They need more of these, frankly, to be honest with you. And a couple quick changes, just things I want to give you for fixes in the game, quality of life improvements, things that make the game better for all of us, right? First, we're going to start with Bob's Burgles. This is Tess Greymane's hero power. Can no longer be activated if your last opponent had no minions. If you've ever hit the button, if you ever not noticed your opponent went 3-on-3 and you thought, oh, I'm going to use it. I mean, I don't know why you would, but there are circumstances where you might have, and you hit this. you get nothing. You'd spend your gold, they'd have no minions, and it was annoying. Now it's just going to make probably an error sound, kind of like when you do it with scabs. It's going to go eh, and that's going to be it. You're not going to waste your gold. Everybody's happy. It's a good change. I don't know how often it happened, probably only a handful of times, but if it ever did happen and you wasted the gold, you felt pretty stupid and you got nothing for it. This is a good change. I have no issue with this. And the next fix is actually a buff to mechs. Are you ready? Because mechs needed to get stronger again. They were weak for a whole week. Let's look. Magnetic minions now return to the minion pool immediately after being magnetized. What was happening is you could run out of magnetized minions in the pool. It happened a lot. It happened many, many games. Now, it never can happen. You magnetize 100 minions to your guys, guess what? They're all back in the pool. Keep doing it. You have infinite minions. Mechs already have the advantage that they don't need to sell a minion to attack things. Oh, are you playing a menagerie brand build and you want to cycle battle cries? I'm sorry, you're gonna have to sell one. Oh, you're a mech player? You're generating a bunch of free cards and you want to attach them, but you don't want to sell anything? No problem, just attach them. You should win. You're a mech. That's just fair. That's how it should work. I don't like this change. I mean, it does suck when you're playing mechs and I'm playing mechs and the pool runs out of mechs, right? But then again, we're aware of this. This is how the game should work. There's only so many cards in the pool. The idea that now, if I apply a magnetic, it then goes right back in the pool and you can keep drawing from the same pool and we both can grow infinitely, means that guy sitting next to us doing menagerie already had an uphill battle because of all of our shield and stats. Now has an even worse battle because we've got more shields, more stats, and they have to keep selling one slot so they can cycle a menagerie jug? I don't know, folks. That's it. That's all the changes in this particular patch. Pet peeve of mine, you'll notice Rylak still has not been changed and is still here to torture me. And basically, every game beast you're in, there's some person abusing Rylak. And sometimes it's me. I'm guilty of it too. I'd be foolish not to take it. But at times it does feel like this is a card that's being heavily abused and they're ignoring it for weeks and weeks. Please fix this, Blizzard. Tell me what you think. Are you happy about these changes? Do you think this is all good news? Is there something you don't like? Is the magnetized buff an issue to you? Do you feel like it's very polarizing? I'm sorry. Sorry. Thanks for watching all. I hope you had a good time. Please leave a comment, like, subscribe. Let me know what you think. I love doing these, but it's easy to do if I've got more people telling me what they think, just so I can help make content and try to address all the things that we want to hear and talk about. I'll catch you all in the battlegrounds. See you next time. Later.